WWE has a Bayley problem, and it's not what you think. While everyone argues about who the best women's wrestler in the company is, Bayley has been quietly putting on clinic after clinic, carrying inferior opponents to career best matches, and proving night after night that she's the most complete performer in the entire women's division. Yet WWE continues to treat her like she's lucky to be there instead of recognizing her as the generational talent she actually is. Right now, as Bayley enters what should be the peak years of her career, WWE is making the same catastrophic mistake they've made with countless other technically superior wrestlers. They're prioritizing flash over substance, entertainment over excellence, and manufactured moments over authentic wrestling genius. What I'm about to expose will make you realize that Bayley isn't just being underutilized, she's being systematically overlooked by a company that doesn't understand what makes wrestling actually work. The technical wrestling ability that Bayley displays in every match puts most of the roster to shame, yet WWE treats her like she's just another body-filling space in the women's division. Her understanding of ring psychology, her ability to structure matches that tell compelling stories, and her innovation in creating sequences that feel both athletic and dramatic represent a level of wrestling intelligence that's becoming increasingly rare in the modern era. But here's what's going to make your blood boil. WWE knows exactly how good Bayley is, and they're choosing to waste her anyway. Every backstage story, every wrestler testimonial, and every industry insider confirms that Bayley is universally regarded as one of the most skilled performers in the company. Yet her positioning, her storylines, and her championship opportunities don't reflect this obvious reality. The NXT run that established Bayley as a legitimate star wasn't just good television, it was a masterclass in character development, storytelling, and technical wrestling that should be studied by anyone trying to understand what makes professional wrestling work at its highest level. Her matches with Sasha Banks didn't just entertain audiences, they elevated the entire perception of what women's wrestling could accomplish in WWE. Yet when Bayley moved to the main roster, WWE seemed determined to forget everything that made her special in NXT. Instead of building on the foundation of technical excellence and authentic character work that made her a star, they tried to force her into predetermined molds that didn't utilize her greatest strengths. It was like taking a master chef and asking them to work at a fast food restaurant. The heel turn that finally allowed Bayley to show her full range as a performer proved that WWE had been sitting on untapped potential for years. Her transformation from lovable underdog to calculating villain wasn't just a character change, it was the emergence of someone who had been holding back aspects of her personality and wrestling ability to fit into the corporate vision of what her character should be. Watch those heel Bayley matches and segments from 2020 and 2021, and you'll see a performer operating at a level that few others in the company can match. Her ability to generate genuine heat through subtle character work, her technical innovations that made every match feel fresh, and her chemistry with different opponents regardless of their skill level demonstrated wrestling intelligence that should have made her the cornerstone of the division. Instead, WWE moved on to other projects and treated Bayley's peak creative period like it was just another phase rather than proof of what she could accomplish when given proper creative support and character development. They had found the perfect balance of technical excellence and character work, and they threw it away to chase the next shiny object. The injury that sidelined Bayley for over a year should have made WWE realize what they were missing, yet when she returned, they slotted her back into the same underutilized position she occupied before proving she was capable of so much more. It was a perfect example of how WWE fails to learn from their own successes and continues to waste obvious talent. The current positioning of Bayley as a respected veteran who can work with anyone is technically accurate but dramatically undervalues what she brings to every program she's involved in. She's not just a reliable performer who can have good matches, she's someone who can carry entire storylines, elevate lesser talent, and create memorable moments through pure wrestling skill and character work. The international appreciation for Bayley's technical abilities tells a story that we's domestic focus often misses. In markets where wrestling is valued more for athletic competition than entertainment spectacle, Bayley is consistently ranked among the top performers in the company. Her matches are studied by aspiring wrestlers, her techniques are analyzed by martial arts experts, and her storytelling is praised by fans who prioritize substance over style. Yet WWE's creative direction continues to prioritize performers who generate more obvious entertainment value over those who excel at the fundamental aspects of professional wrestling. They're choosing immediate gratification over long-term quality, and performers like Bayley pay the price for this short-sighted approach. The backstage stories about Bayley's professionalism and willingness to help other performers reveal exactly why she's so valuable beyond her individual matches. She's consistently described as someone who goes out of her way to make her opponents look good, who studies tape to find ways to improve every segment she's involved in, and who serves as an unofficial mentor to younger talent. This kind of locker room leadership and professional commitment should make her invaluable to WWE's long-term planning, yet the company seems to take these qualities for granted while focusing on performers who require more management and produce less consistent results. They're undervaluing exactly the kind of professional excellence that creates sustainable success. The technical innovations that Bayley has introduced to WWE programming often go unnoticed by casual fans but are immediately recognized by anyone who understands wrestling at a deeper level. Her subtle improvements to basic moves, her creative solutions to common match problems, and her ability to make complex sequences look effortless represent contributions that influence how wrestling is performed throughout the industry. But WWE's presentation of her matches rarely emphasizes these technical achievements, instead focusing on surface-level storyline elements that don't showcase what makes her special as a performer. They're missing opportunities to educate their audience about wrestling excellence while marketing someone who could serve as the perfect ambassador for technical wrestling in mainstream entertainment. The chemistry that Bayley has demonstrated with virtually every opponent she's faced proves her adaptability and professional skill, yet WWE rarely capitalizes on this versatility by positioning her in programs that could showcase different aspects of her ability. Whether she's working with power wrestlers, high flyers, or technical specialists, she finds ways to create compelling matches that feel unique and memorable. This kind of professional adaptability is incredibly rare and valuable, especially in an era where many performers struggle to maintain their effectiveness when removed from familiar contexts. Bayley's ability to excel regardless of opponent or storyline should make her one of WWE's most utilized performers, yet she often seems to be an afterthought in major creative planning. The merchandise potential that remains largely untapped because of Bayley's positioning represents another example of WWE's failure to properly market technical excellence. Her combination of wrestling credibility and authentic personality should make her appealing to demographics that don't connect with more manufactured characters, yet the company barely explores what's possible with her brand development. The streaming content opportunities in the current entertainment landscape are perfect for someone with Bayley's combination of technical knowledge and teaching ability. Training videos, match breakdowns, and educational content about wrestling psychology could showcase her expertise while building her individual brand and demonstrating her value to the company. Yet WWE has barely scratched the surface of these possibilities, missing opportunities to leverage one of their most knowledgeable performers in formats that could attract audiences interested in the athletic and technical aspects of professional wrestling rather than just the entertainment elements. The comparison between Bayley's consistent excellence and the inconsistent performances of more heavily pushed performers reveals the disconnect between WWE's stated values and their actual decision-making process. They claim to prioritize quality and professionalism, yet they consistently underutilize someone who embodies these characteristics while investing more heavily in performers who deliver less reliable results. The business metrics around Bayley's segments and matches consistently show solid performance across every measurable category, yet WWE seems to treat steady excellence as less valuable than unpredictable entertainment value. This backwards approach to evaluating talent costs them opportunities to build sustainable success around performers who deliver consistent quality. The cultural impact that Bayley has had on women's wrestling extends far beyond her individual matches to the entire perception of what female wrestlers can accomplish in mainstream entertainment. Her technical abilities helped legitimize women's wrestling as athletic competition rather than just entertainment spectacle, yet WWE rarely acknowledges or builds upon this groundbreaking contribution. The current landscape of women's wrestling creates obvious opportunities for someone with Bayley's combination of experience, skill, and leadership qualities, yet WWE continues to position her as just another name in the mix rather than the cornerstone performer she could be with proper creative support and promotional investment. The time-sensitive nature of maximizing a performer's prime years makes WWE's underutilization of Bayley even more frustrating from both individual and business perspectives. She's currently at the perfect stage of her career to anchor major storylines and serve as the foundation for the entire women's division, but these opportunities won't last forever if the company continues to take her contributions for granted. The fan investment in Bayley's continued success is evident in the consistent quality of reactions she receives and the respect she commands from audiences who appreciate wrestling excellence over manufactured entertainment. This kind of authentic fan appreciation is incredibly valuable and should be nurtured through featured programming and meaningful storylines. Yet WWE's approach to booking and promotion suggests they value controversial moments and social media buzz over the steady fan loyalty that performers like Bayley generate through consistent excellence. They're prioritizing short-term attention over long-term investment, and the entire division suffers as a result. The international expansion opportunities that remain unexplored because WWE undervalues technical wrestling excellence represent missed chances to reach audiences who prioritize athletic competition over entertainment spectacle. Bayley's abilities would translate perfectly to markets where wrestling is viewed more as sport than entertainment, yet the company rarely leverages this potential. The training and development value that Bayley could provide to WWE's younger talent is being underutilized while she's positioned primarily as an active competitor rather than also serving in mentorship roles that could benefit the entire women's division. Her knowledge and experience could accelerate the development of an entire generation of performers. The legacy implications of how WWE handles Bayley during this crucial period of her career will extend far beyond her individual achievements to the entire question of how the company values and develops technical wrestling excellence. She represents the gold standard for what women's wrestling can accomplish, yet her treatment suggests WWE doesn't fully understand or appreciate this significance. The streaming era creates new opportunities for showcasing technical wrestling excellence in ways that traditional television programming doesn't always allow, and Bayley is perfectly positioned to take advantage of these platforms. Her knowledge, teaching ability, and authentic personality make her ideal for content that goes beyond traditional wrestling entertainment. The current moment represents a crossroads where WWE can either recognize what they have in Bayley and build around her proven excellence, or continue down the same path of undervaluing technical superiority in favor of more superficial entertainment elements. The choice they make will determine not just her legacy but the future direction of how wrestling talent is evaluated and developed. The evidence is overwhelming that Bayley represents the best of what professional wrestling can be: technically excellent, professionally committed, and capable of elevating everything and everyone around her. Whether WWE recognizes this value and acts accordingly will determine whether they capitalize on one of the most complete performers of this generation or waste the remaining prime years of someone who has already proven she deserves better. The technical wrestling clinic that Bayley puts on every time she steps in the ring isn't just entertainment, it's education for anyone who wants to understand what makes professional wrestling work at its highest level. WWE has been handed the perfect example of wrestling excellence, and their response will reveal whether they understand the difference between temporary entertainment and lasting quality that creates sustainable success and authentic fan investment.